And generally with Unilever, they help young people grow.
Especially national sales.
Exactly. They mold you into a manager. They treat you like a manager. Like when you come in, they call you a manager. I remember my boss.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is April and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel if you are returning. And if you are new here, there are two things that you have to do. First and foremost, check out the videos on my channel page. And if you like what you see, then of course subscribe to my channel. Oh, and actually there is even a third thing. Like this video before we even proceed into this video, because today you are going to be going into the world of Unilever and how to be successful at Unilever. So that is why with me here today I have my boss. Her name is Judy and she's the brand manager for Geisha at Unilever. I have been working with Judy for a couple of months now. Well, not a couple, a bit more than that, right? It's been some time now. And she's going to just be telling you guys her story, her career development story, her background, her educational background, and everything related to that.
I read business back in senior high school, Notre Dame Girls, for 3 years. The funny part of this whole journey was that initially, when I was going into secondary school, I wanted to read science because my elder brother and elder sister had both read science back in school. So I really wanted to do that. But then when the admission letter came, I had business and I did everything possible to change it, but it didn't work. So I just went in for it. But then growing up, I liked business, math, stuff like that. At a very early age, I actually started doing business. So I bought office, take it to school, sell it to my friends, make profits and all that.
Wow.
I had an interest in doing stuff like that. Yeah. So basically that is how I ended up. I did everything possible to change my course back in senior high school to science, but then it didn't work. So I went in and started the course. But then funny enough, I think after 4 months, my headmistress came back and told me, oh, there was an opportunity for me to move from business to the science class. But then I had already gone into the business and I fell in love with it, and I told her, oh, I'm okay, I'll just stay where I am. So that's how my whole journey started in the business world.
All right, and after that you proceeded to tertiary.
Yeah.
Okay, so what university or tertiary institution?
The best university in Ghana, University of Professional Studies.
The best university in Ghana, guys, are you listening? Okay, UPSA.
Yeah, UPSA.
All right, and what did you study there?
So I did business administration. Yeah. Then I proceeded to do my national service.
Okay, meaning you didn't intern at Unilever?
Well, no.
Okay.
Well, actually, in between uni and then national service, I had interned in 2 different companies. But then back in the north, I grew up in the north, Nabrungwapa East region. Yes, so I went back there. I think the first internship I did was as a municipal health directorate. And the second year, that was in level 300, I had my second internship at Nara Bank.
When it comes to Unilever, you got in as a national service personnel.
Yeah.
And how was that process? Because you didn't intern before and you didn't have any knowledge about the company, how did you even get to become a national service personnel?
It's been a journey. It's been a very long journey. After our national service postings came out, I got posted to a school in the Brongahafo region. And teaching wasn't a thing for me. I really wanted to go into the business field and then understand. Because I as I said earlier, from an early stage, I had a thing for business, like money, maths, profits, expenses, and all that. So after I got that placement, I wasn't really happy. So I tried as much as possible to change it. So I spoke to some family members and told them what I wanted to do in my life. Teaching wasn't a thing for me. So they suggested a couple of companies I could work in to achieve whatever I had planned. So they suggested Unilever, Nestle, some other companies. So I applied to Unilever, and then luckily for me, I got paid. and then like went through the whole process. We wrote aptitude tests, we did interviews, and like it was a whole process.
Okay, I just wanted to compare this maybe to the internship, because for national service placements, I didn't go through the process again.
Okay.
I interned, and before I became an intern, I had to go through what you said. There was an aptitude test, there were interviews, a phone interview, an in-person interview. There was also this form that you filled. Like I had to answer in a short essay form to general questions about my strengths and my weaknesses and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I actually did that. Oh, you did it online?
Yeah, it was online.
Yeah. I also did the same thing. In our time, I mean, in our year, we also did the same thing. But I think because you had already interned there, you didn't have to go through the whole process.
Yeah, I didn't have to.
But because for me, that was my first time going into Unilever. I knew nobody there. I literally didn't know what was going on in there. I didn't know what to expect and all that.
So after your national service experience, how were you able to continue the journey at Unilever? Basically, what I'm asking is, what made you so special that you were allowed to stay? Did someone reach out to you? Or you yourself express the interest that you want to stay?
Okay. So this is how it happened, right? So I would have to take you back a bit. During my national service stay in Unilever, we have different categories and then different brands under the various categories. I was working with the oral care team. I was in the sales department, right? So and normally we work hand in hand with our marketing partners. So I was in oral care sales, and I was working hand in hand with my marketing partners. So I think that's how the whole journey started. Because in marketing, they had a resource person who was like assisting the brand manager and the category manager. And luckily for me, when our national service was about like ending, the resource person in the oral care marketing team had been promoted. So he had a different post and he had to like move, and there was a vacancy. And because I was working closely with them, and then because they knew my potential, I was reached out to by the HR, because I think I got recommended to the HR. So the HR was the first person who reached out to me, and then like we had a chat and all that. A date was set for an interview. So I went for an interview, and then I think after a week or two, I got a call that I had gotten the role and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how the journey has been so far. That's
okay. And can you pinpoint maybe one or two things that you think made you stand out? Why would the marketing category even bother? I mean, you were in sales, right? You were in CD.
Yeah.
So what is it that you formed a personal connection with the marketeers, or what made you stand out?
I won't say I formed a personal connection. The issue is when you're working with someone and they see your potential. If you're hardworking, it shows, right? Mm-hmm. You don't really need to do the most. You just like it shows in all what you do. In my case, I can't really go into details. I really don't know what exactly stood out to them for me, but then like all the actions that were given to me, I made sure I completed them in time and in full. And normally it's good to normally get feedback from people you are working with, and also learn how to communicate with them when it comes to like deadlines, or when you have pending actions you have to do and all that, and like you find challenges. So probably it could be one of those things, because I actually had the chance to work with them on several projects. So probably based on that, they saw my potential, and yeah.
I see. It seems like there's a lot of luck, a lot of just being yourself. Like you said, you didn't do the most. You weren't trying to be anything.
Impress anybody. I was just doing my work. I was doing the work that was given to me. Yeah.
And when you got the role, what role was it? I mean, after national service, when you were retained, what kind of position did you occupy?
A resource role. So I was the assistant brand manager.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with the marketing team on contract for 2 to 3 years. Yeah.
Was it a contract for 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, so it was a contract, but then it was renewable. So like after every 6 months,
Okay.
it gets renewed.
Okay. Meaning there was a risk.
Yeah.
There was a risk.
Yeah.
But you were able to keep it up for 2 to 3 years. That's a really long time.
Yeah. But then you see, with stuff like that, you are so not sure. You never know when your contract will get renewed.
Yeah.
So you have that insecurity in you.
Okay. And was that something that you did intentionally to be able to stay in the organization?
Intentionally.
Yeah.
How? I was just doing my work. I was being hardworking. I was curious, trying to know what other brands were up to and all that. I was also checking for vacancies and all that I could apply to. I mean, in the business and also outside.
Awesome.
So even though I was in there, I was still searching out there because my job wasn't 100% secure. So.
Okay. And then finally, the position opened for brand manager.
Yeah.
And you applied for it.
Yes. So with that again, I got recommended. I went for the interview as well. It was stressful. It's one of the most stressful interviews I've gone for. I went for an interview. After that, I had to go for another interview with the category lead. Then there was an aptitude test, business case study. Then I think after that, yeah, I think that was it.
Do you think that there are certain qualities that a person must have? Not necessarily compulsory qualities, but qualities that, in your opinion, a person should have in order to be able to work at Unilever and to be like you? You know, to be able to go through that whole 5 years, including national service.
Yeah.
And finally be able to make it to brand manager and hopefully to climb even higher up the career ladder at Unilever.
They are not necessarily qualities, but then one should be very hardworking. Just be hardworking. Because when I was entering Unilever, I knew nothing about the brand. I knew nothing about FMCGs and how things were run in there and all that. But I was eager to learn. I was eager to learn. I was hardworking. I took feedback from my bosses very seriously because without feedback, you wouldn't know. In fact, without feedback, you won't grow. Because without feedback, you won't know the aspects to work on yourself to help you grow. So basically, I would say that you should be hardworking, should be accountable because they are your actions, your work plan. Who do you want to like? You need to be accountable. So if you are given work to do, make sure you jot it down. Make sure you give updates. If you face any challenge, you reach out to your boss or superior or whoever you're working with. And learn how to communicate and also make friends. Get to know what's going on in other categories and other brands because you never know. And generally with Unilever, they help young people grow.
Especially national sales.
Exactly. They mold you into a manager. They treat you like a manager. Like when you come in, they call you a manager. I remember my boss when I joined Unilever, used to call us managers. Should come, hey, you ladies are managers. So basically be willing to learn more, communicate is also key.
Because you work full-time in a corporate environment in a company, I want to know first and foremost your opinion on entrepreneurship. Right now there is this thing where I don't want to call it a trend, but it's like some people look down on company workers, on employees. They say entrepreneurship is the way to go, that is the future, this and that, as if there are no risks associated with that, or as if that is always successful. So I want to know your perspective on that. And if you yourself are involved in entrepreneurship, how do you compare that to working in a company? And which would you say is better maybe for you?
It's all up to the individual, right? I might be working 8 to 5. It might be working for me. It's not everybody who succeeds in being an entrepreneur when it comes to starting their own business and all that. And most of the times you need to work as an average Ghanaian, right? You need to work somewhere to get some funds before you can. So I'm just trying to look at it from the as a fresh graduate. So it boils down to the person's goals, where the person wants to be, the direction the person wants to go, and how the person wants to get there. For instance, I do both. I don't think yes, they all have advantages and disadvantages, right? So if you think you're making more income with your business and you don't really get much from your corporate work, then yeah, why not? You can. But then for someone like me, well, as of now, I don't think I would want to drop my corporate work and then go full time. In as much as I'm making money out of it, I'm also developing myself in terms of my career. I'm developing myself personally. I learn new things every single day. I've been working in Unilever for 5 years. I've been learning things every single. I learn something new every single day. And one thing I love about Unilever is the fact that they train their employees. So like we have regular courses we take on the grid. We invite people. They invite people to talk to us, and all that. So we keep learning every single day. So me personally, I have like 2 different businesses on the side that I do, but I still work full time. Yes, even though it's not that easy, but based on my situation, based on where I want to go to, I would go for my corporate work and then do this on the side. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your opinion, your advice, and all of that. So thank you also so much for watching. And again, if you like this video and you haven't actually liked it yet, then definitely do so and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then I'll definitely see you in another video. But today, yeah, it's a bye.